They will be facing off against Aether, which will be a bigger challenge. Of course, they're very comfortably on top. Top 4 and top 5 is going to be a bit more crucial,
Yeah.
as you can see
And
on
we
the
have
standings.
Vicious and Delicious really mathematically are out of the tournament.
Correct.
They are. And we still have, over the edge, it's, I believe, Ops Raven.
Yeah.
They will be facing Invictus Gods, I believe, in a while. And that means that if they go up 2 points, they will be better than DD No Limit. But DD No Limit has to lose both games.
So
it's a big problem.
That's the big problem. Like DD No Limit, to be honest, is a bit of a good match as well.
Okay.
Even though they are pretty much below on this, pretty much low on the standings, they're pretty good. They're pretty good spirits right now.
Yeah.
They do have a chance to still get out, but this is gonna be Obs Raven basically praying all day for DD No Limit to have a bad day, at least a 0-2, for them to be sure to be saved.
Well, it's gonna be pretty hard though for DD No Limit. It's Aether Main, the top team with 15 total wins already. Well, they only lost 1 out of all the qualifiers, out of all the matches that we did have. And, well, it's gonna have to be up to Ops Raven to win 2-0 and let DD No Limit lose to 0-2. Otherwise, they'll go for a tiebreaker. I think that's one of the better scenarios as well for Ops Raven. Well,
there is a possibility of tiebreakers today. That's why we started a little bit earlier. So that we can give you more Mobile Legends actions right on time.
That's true. So, here's the thing, though. Do you think that Aether Main will actually give a win or two for Invictus, for, DD No Limit? Because I think that probably they won't. This is, every match counts. You know, we do know that in MPL, we give $300 per win. So, I don't know.
Aether Main versus DD No Limit. No, these are two organizations that have clashed over and over again. The past regular season, they've been bouncing back and forth. Of course, Aether Main definitely going out ahead of that clash with very impressive standings. But still, DD No Limit, they do have teams that are pretty much on the upper echelon as well. So not counting them out yet.
Yeah, I mean, that's true. It's going to be pretty close. But, you know, I do believe that Aether Main will not give it away for free.
Absolutely.
So let's look at DD No Limit, though. They have not been... No, they're performing, you know, at the middle ground or maybe even sometimes below average of their expectations. They are part of the big Digital Devils franchise, though. So there's Trico, there's Daniel, there's Jana, there's Yanyan, and there's Peace. Well, they will be up against Aether...
The full force, the full power of Aether Valkyrie. Which is, of course, composed of Van, Shangu, LeBron, Kenji, and Ogdemod. Of course, LeBron having not the best...
I mean... That was, on a separate news.
On separate news,
LeBron has been.
I was gonna say that, basketball spirits today.
I mean, if Aether Valkyrie wants, I mean, for sure, Raven Alonso right here is probably a LeBron fan.
Yes,
he might not be happy today, so it's either he will be affected by the result of what happened, or maybe he can use it as an inspiration, Yeah,
I'm not gonna do this. I'm not gonna be the one carrying my team this time around. I'm gonna be the one to get carried by my team or something like that.
But Aether Valkyrie, let's see if they will actually let a win or two for DD No Limit. It's our first feature match and it's already intense because the stakes are high for both of these teams.
Super high. DD No Limit fighting against 7th spot, with Aether Valkyrie trying to prove themselves a bit more better than their original counterparts, of course, Aether Main.
Yeah. We're, Rockhart, we were casting last weekend. There are a few things that we kind of learned from both these from performance of the team, especially those who have performed at the top. We kind of saw a little bit of pattern between their playstyles, like those teams that prioritize actual objectives more than likely wins the matches.
Exactly. Even having really weird picks like Aether Main, we have seen 2 matches. They take out the AD carry Hanabi, and they take out really weird stuff like Aurora. So and they take out really weird stuff like Aurora. So even though they do that, and even though some people might not call it optimal, they still make it through because of the macro that you just mentioned.
Exactly. It doesn't matter what your lineup is, as long as you are, you know, the checklist of your win conditions, right?
Absolutely.
Get to push. Sometimes you have to split push if the enemy team has an immense amount of team fight, and when that's not happening, try to team fight as well. But never forget to push. Always push. There's also, it could be a minor thing, but as it does pile up. Like what I'm trying to say is that if you try to push out the other lanes, just like one wave, it will definitely push out against your opponents, which gives you a lot more openings around the map.
Yeah, basically small advantages that you see. They're not really flashy.
Yeah.
They're not really like one big push or anything like that.
Exactly.
They add up over time, and I think Aether Main is one of those teams that can do this perfectly. They make sure that they rotate really, really fast around the map. Make sure that they're always winning, even though they're losing some of the fights. Right?
Ooh.
They win some of the clash. They lose a lot of the. They're always winning, even though they're losing some of the fights. Right?
Ooh.
They win some of the clash. They lose a lot of the clashes sometimes. But you always see someone on the other side. You always see someone taking an objective, a jungle camp from the enemy team. So
I kind of noticed that because one thing that you can't control is what if your opponents does have the advantage on you? What if they get the jump on you? What if they have the better initiation or the better ambush? So that will mean that you'll definitely lose the fight. But you will lose the fight, but you will not lose the overall battle if you do find other resources from the other sides of the map.
Exactly, like you're taking away jungle camps, for instance,
Exactly.
right? That's more time for the enemy to go around the map to find gold.
Exactly.
And sometimes you lose tower on the top lane for just the price of one hero, right? So again, these are advantages that Aether Main is pretty much used to doing, and I hope that DD No Limit has studied up, has brushed up on this, and have prepared counters. Because again, if you leave Aether Valkyrie, this is Aether Valkyrie over and over again, because they pretty much play the same, don't you?
I
agree.
Yeah. Aether Valkyrie, there was a time they placed like second place next to Aether Main. I mean, that alone is amazing. I think they also only lost their matches versus Hobbs Gaming, I believe, and Aether Main themselves. And the thing with Aether Valkyrie is that they're part of the Aether franchise, which somewhere out there for sure, Aether Main has taught Aether Valkyrie some of their recipes of success. And definitely there's a part in their bootcamp for sure that they kind of train alongside other of their sister teams.
Yeah, and that's why they're pretty much similar. On the draft though, man, interesting draft. Fanny and Hellkurt banned out, no surprise right there. Aether Valk is using these, and as well as the other team, No Limit. Of course, Angela and Jawhead, a bit more surprising on the bans.
The thing with Aether Valkyrie is that they prioritize the Lancelot over the Gusion, while Aether Main, we know that they prioritize something like a Hellkurt or a Gusion, but this time they do have a lot of teamfight in them. They have Lolita, they have Akai. They will go for the Saber to kind of control the backlines, particularly that Gusion, and they do have the Harley as their primary damage source at the start of the match.
And on the other side though, DD No Limit prioritizing the win over mobility. The mobility of the Kagura, the Hayabusa, and the Gusion as well, as even their tanks are mobile. So they're kind of supplementing that with good teamfight presence from the Grok. Very good balance on the other side for DD No Limit. Of course, Aether Valkyrie looking very solid on the lineup.
There's a lot of micro plays that you can get out of the Grok. Let's see if it will be enough versus all of these teamfight heroes coming up from Aether Valkyrie. The thing with most of their members, they are mobile, even through walls from the Grok. Maybe the Akai won't be happy with wall placements, but as far as Lancelot goes, as far as Lolita goes, you can flicker in, and then you have what is it they have? They have Harley with the hat trick for sure. They have their ways, but it's gonna be up to DD No Limit to identify will they go for full-blown 5v5 teamfights, because they have the ability to do so, but they also have the ability to split push as well.
Yeah, that's right. They have the ability to do the split pushing because again, very mobile comps. They do have some presence on team fights, although I will have to give team fights a bit better to Aether Valk, because of the tankiness of their comp. The Akai, the lockdown as well is very crucial, as well as the Harley for the splitting. This is gonna be a brutal match, man.
This is
gonna be such a brutal match. Again, hashtag #BeLegendary on the stream. on whenever you share it to social media. Again, please share the stream on Twitter, on Facebook, on Friendster. Just kidding. All right, of course, we have used the hashtags hashtag BeLegendary, hashtag MPL 2018. Finals is drawing very very near as well, man. Super excited for that.
Super excited for that. I hope the Filipino fans out there will go and check out the LAN event that's gonna be June 30th and July 1.
Exactly.
July 1st.
That's in Mall of Asia.
Mall of Asia. First.
That's in Mall of Asia.
Mall of Asia.
Music Hall. So if you want to see us, if you want to see your favorite teams, make sure to mark those dates and join us for a chat for more games. Again, this is Aether Valkyrie versus DD No Limit, Game 1.
Number 1. And this is just usual mid stuff. We are seeing a trend that teams, put a lot of emphasis in clearing out the initial wave onto mid so that they can rotate to one of the jungles. Like Yuki jungle comes like something like a red buff sometimes, or it's a red blue buff,
right
thing.
Of course, this is gonna be Aether Valkyrie still playing safer. Again on the buffs. They're gonna start off on the buffs most likely, and of course they're gonna start rotating to Crab most likely. I like what our teams have been doing for the past season. But look at this, very aggressive play here from No Limit.
And of course that will be found out by Van with the Akai. Force out some of the skills. Maybe they don't have legitimate contention over the Crab, so they will just trade Crab for the other. Just giving some of their quote-unquote carries a little bit of advantage. For example, the Kagura up top and the Saber down bottom for Aether Valkyrie.
That's right. You know what I like about this Wolf? The Aether Valkyrie composition. On the top lane, Harley and Akai. They can position on the top lane, Harley and Akai. They can just keep farming up. They can disengage so easy with a hat trick, with a 1,000-pounder as well from the Akai. Even their tank there as well from the Akai. Even their tank can disengage so easily. They can just ramp up gold over and over again. They're pretty much immune to gank, and they're gonna try to go for a gank instead.
They are gonna go for it, but it seems like Aether Valkyrie will not overextend or anything whatsoever. I don't like their Lolita is way too under level though. It's level 2, and here comes the clash. Onto the mid, will actually run out on the Gusion. And DD No Limit will just back down despite Aether Valkyrie having only 3 members and a level 2 Lolita.
Yeah, Aether Valkyrie forcing over the turtle as we speak. This is pretty smart. They do have power to pull this off. Will No Limit try to go for a break? This is going to be a free man engage. Kagura very pretty much on top, but they do get it.
They do get it. Gusion takes the last hit that time, and they will still want to go for more Lolita. Very under level, as we mentioned earlier. Will be bursted down just like that from Daniel. And DD No Limit already getting the upper hand this time with a lot of cash in their pockets, as well as a lot of the initial kill for this game.
Yeah, they should feel very good because of that. Again, DD No Limits starting off with a bang on the gold. They do have the Hayabusa. While all that was happening, their Kagura and their Hayabusa were farming on the bot lane. Again, results in so much gold in their pockets. This is gonna a great start. This is exactly what they need.
Exactly what they need. You just have to keep it going, just constantly apply the pressure on the lanes. Make sure that they are not overcommitting or overextending.
Yep.
Well,
and of course, if you're No Limit, you have to make sure you keep that in mind as well. That Aether Valkyrie, they have their own strats. They do split push a lot as well. You have to always note, you must not rest on your laurels if you're fighting against a team of this caliber.
I agree. No, Aether Valkyrie, they're secure onto that Crab.
That's right. Of course, the Crab is going to be, the biggest gold source, pre-level 6, pre-level 7. No surprises right there. Oh, this is going to be one.
Onto Daniel, this is the first kill for Aether Valkyrie. There's the Lancelot to get it. And the Akai initiates, and the Lolita as well. Onto 2, the stun connects Geo. It's gonna be very tanky, and he will dash away from the fight as Changu will be forced out of the lane. He will try to dive this one, but he's far too low, and there's the Grok wall to keep himself safe. All the while, that is happening, Chico applying some damage onto the turret down bottom. And, that is Aether Valkyrie snatching a kill, but will not get anything else. They still trail, but a lot of cash. And DD No Limit, they will just scratch that over their heads and maybe just get back to their, usual business.
Yeah, of course, Turtle is going to be spawning up next with us. They're going to go and start the zoning, man. Let's go man to man. Let's go make a free 2-zone defense, and we're gonna go for it.
They are gonna go for it. They will try to lock down Geo this time. There's the Grok taking so much damage, but fortunately for DD No Limit, they aren't really concerned on taking any team fights right now. They're just poking and poking, making sure Aether Valkyrie will make the first mistake, but here comes Geo, spotted out. It's way too techy. The jumping from Changu, there's the Lancelot, there's the Lolita with the ultimate. Being prepped up, it will miss. Be dodged by the Grok. And they will try to go on to the Saber. Saber's down. There is a 2-man knockup coming out from Cho. They will take out the Lancelot as well. Daniel might be the exchange, and he will. Harley snatches that one. The Turtle still being taken out. It will be taken down by the Grok. While EJ already left by his teammates. That's the Lolita trying to dash away, but will not be able to do so as the Cho takes him out.
That was excellent from DD No Limit. Perfect team fight, actually. And they're still going to be fighting on the bottom lane. That Hayabusa doing wonders in the split while all of that was happening. Again, No Limit getting a lot of kills, fighting for turtle pressure despite being a man down, and they actually still won it. So they got the turtle, they got the kills as well. They did suffer some casualties, but overall, good gaming for DD No Limit.
I like the confidence that DD No Limit has acquired right now.
Yeah.
It looks pretty well. You know, we thought that this is a kind of one-sided matchup for Aether Valkyrie with them on the winning side. But it seems like DD No Limit says, we are prepared for you. We know how, we had gained knowledge on how to actually play Mobile Legends in a different level.
Yeah,
they're really showing up that right now. The knockup onto EJ. I think this is just pokes.
Yeah, this is DD No Limit not being pressured by the name, by the Aether Valkyrie branding, which is now they're trying to pressure it by the name, by the Aether Valkyrie branding, which is now they're trying to fight the Hurricane Dance by Van.
The Hurricane Dance, as you mentioned, the front rows as well. It will be enough to take out the Grok. Jano might go for the exchange, but Changu with the micro plays. The footwork, the fancy footwork is gonna work, but no. Here comes Gush, and I think if they will be able to take him out on the Hayabusa, he's actually gonna get it for him.
Of course, excellent gameplay. No Limit still keeping up the pressure, even though they're not pushing as much as they should. They are getting a lot of gold, and the carries are also being very, very safe, even though you'd see, there you go, pushing under the turret, fighting under the turret. They feel very confident, man.
They feel very confident. They know that there's no damage that can actually punish them because of the death of the Lancelot.
Exactly.
That's why they had the license to dive that one, and they will even get the turret afterwards.
Yeah, this is No Limit playing very smart and not playing overconfident, just juggling it on the right moment. Again, on the bottom lane, more advantages going over DD No Limit, and on the top lane, there you go.
It is going to be a massacre for DD No Limit. We actually got 2 out of the map. I like the idea of the Grok almost every time. It goes well with Cho, because what you can do is have the Cho in a separate team fight to set up for 2 more people, and then have the Grok separately do another gank with 1 hero. That means that they have a lot of gank spots as they go into Kenji this time. There's the jumping from Yan. Kenji will be actually safe this time. I thought he will die for sure.
Yeah, triple sweep counter, very smart there from the Saber.
Yeah.
Picking it up right off the bat. Yeah. Again, there you go. This is DD No Limit playing very safe as well. I mean, I'm not sure if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but I think so far it's looking good.
Yeah.
It's just they're not pushing up their advantage as much as they should. They may be playing safe or maybe not calculating as much as they should. Again, level 1 Lord is still pretty weak, but they're gonna start rotating around it. Great zone defense there from Aether Valkyrie, pushing up Yan, caught with a triple sweep. Will he go down? Apparently not.
Apparently not, as he tries to get away. That's a joke. Very tanky. Chico, his presence alone will actually dissuade Aether Valkyrie. Although I say that, there's still the Lolita whiffed actually really badly. Chico might be in trouble though, as there's so much damage from the Lancelot. Now Gushin will be able to take out the Lancelot. It's actually the Kagura, and now that what looked to be really bad for DD No Limit wasn't bad at all.
Excellent. Yeah, exactly, man. Chico baited that so well and then pulled off the ultimate, disappeared into the air, and then the rest of DD No Limit just took the fight to Aether Valkyrie, and they will suffer a Lord deficit because of that. Again, good job to DD No Limit. They're looking on for this game.
This is DD No Limit saying that they are knocking down, what was it? I mean, they want to knock down Aether Valkyrie, at least get a game away from them. But seeing as their performance right now, how well they are, how confident they are at this specific match, I think they can even go for 2-0, if ever.
I mean, they could. Looking at the steam that they're going on right now, DD No Limit playing fast, playing smart. Again, this is playing to their win condition, where we mentioned earlier, go for the mobile plays, go for the fast rotations. They're doing just that. I think either Valkyrie having a harder time catching up because again, they have a slower comp. And they do rely a lot on the land slot as well.
Yeah, I agree. I think we can feel it right now. Aether Valkyrie does have the slower composition as far as scaling goes, and DD No Limit capitalizing on it. They're keeping the pressure on it. They're keeping the pressure on so that it will not come to a point where Aether Valkyrie can pull farther away with all of their economy.
That's right. Securing the gold, securing the tower so that they can stop Aether Valkyrie from getting into a good position to engage. And I think that's very smart. DD No Limit taking tower after tower. Next one was probably going to be on the mid lane. They're using the Lord as a distraction, but Cho goes in.
Cho goes in. It's just making the space for his team as they are taking the mid turret this time and the bottom as well. Now here comes the jump in from the damage dealers coming off from DD No Limit. Fan will have to get away. There's the Grok. There is the Lolita with the ultimate. Again, another whiffed ultimate right there. It's Chico. Actually, he's still alive. Eventually falls, but he made so much space. There is the kill onto the Lolita and the turret as well, taken down bottom. Even the mid turret is actually in trouble right now, and it will soon be taken away by Yanyan if they do come in on it. There's Daniel as well, and there's the enemy turret. I mean, the Aether Valkyrie turret taking out down mid.
Yeah, 2 base towers for 2 heroes. I will take that trade any day, as long as you get the rest of your teammates safely, right?
Exactly. Exactly.
Worth it.
It's definitely worth it, as DD No Limit have a ton of lead right now. That's about 12. God, that's 11k.
Yeah, that's a lot of gold for DD No Limit, despite playing a bit more safer, not super high octane like we mentioned earlier. It is on the 11-minute mark, but they're playing to secure the win, not to flash up the plays. And Yanyan trying to make up for that, making flash plays of his own.
Well, it's the usual Cho things, you know that you're safe, you know that you're
just
tanky.
Cho things, man.
Just Cho things, You see a hero, you see 2 heroes, you always look down and see, oh, I can knock them up, the 2 of them, right? I could knock them up both. Sometimes you tunnel vision for sure. Let's see if that will be the case, as they will try to lock down Van this time. Yanyan up front, and all the shielding, but only with the ultimate, I think that was an ultimate. But Van, oh no, knocked up. That was a nice wall. Will soon be out as they collapse onto Van. Van will be taken out just like that. I mean, it took a lot of time, but DD No Limit still took down the main playmaker for Aether Valkyrie.
Yeah, their primary tank is now down. This is going to be an opening for DD No Limit. Will they capitalize? But looks like the minion wave is just not in their favor so far. Except they might change that soon on top lane, and Aether Valkyrie positioning for the defense.
And the thing with the discussion, this Hayabusa, I mean, they just prioritize taking objectives. They focus on pushing away the minion wave, as they will try to go on to mid this time. The Lolita, can you get the ultimate off? No, not just yet, but there's the Gushin. Finally, a Lolita ultimate. It will not be enough as he was already taken out. And now the ultimate from Van, it will not amount to anything as the core already down, and they're celebrating.
DD No Limit knocking chairs left and right. Secure the game.
They can feel it.
Man, that was beautiful from DD No Limit, and you can see the failure, the pressure on Aether Valkyrie right now to perform. It's getting to them as well.
Yeah, this is very interesting, because I think that the furthest that 70%
tower damage.
Chico, man.
Wow, Chico.
He's making a case for an MVP right now.
Yeah, baiting plays and taking towers. That's MVP material right there.
Exactly. No. So here's the thing. DD No Limit already won 1 game up. That puts them to 7 points, if I'm not mistaken.
I think 6 points. Yeah, 6 points, yes.
Okay. So that puts Obs Raven on a lot of pressure, a ton of pressure. They only have 3 points right now, I believe. Yeah.
For a tiebreaker, they have to pray that DD No Limit loses this, and they 2-0.
Yeah, correct.
Their coming game. So, wow, mounting pressure here for Obs Raven.
That is true. Now, this might be that deciding match, the upcoming match, game number 2, and I would like to say this, but it seems like Obs Raven's fate is on the hands of DD No Limit.
That's right, man. their power is on DD No Limit not performing.
Yeah.
I mean, they should start doing prayer meetings all over. They want to get this. I mean, DD No Limit is looking on fire right now.
They are looking really good. You know, I like their confidence that they're showing right now. This is not the DD No Limit that we saw in the previous matches. Not at all. I think now
at all.
Their confidence is showing. You can see that because of their calculated risks. You know, whenever they try to dive, they always get something out of it. And when they know that they can't dive, they just back away. You can see how much command of the game a team has if they are disciplined like that. It just means that they have, you know, studied their heroes well. They have studied their strategies well. And you can say that they played enough games to prepare for this, which I like for sure.
That's right. I mean, this is DD No Limit. Despite, you know, if you look at their composition, if I was Aether Valkyrie, I would expect them to play super fast. And I would, if I were Aether Valkyrie, I would try to make pickoffs as fast as possible, right?
Yeah.
But no, DD No Limit did not let that happen. They played on a bit slower tempo, which again prevented a lot of, let's say, reading of their moves. So maybe they become a bit more unpredictable. And DD No Limit was taking fights in a bit weird places sometimes, which again, that kind of shook Aether Valkyrie, I think.
The thing with DD No Limit is that you can never see a hero with on his lonesome.
That's true.
We never see anyone. I mean, there was probably one time with a Cho with a dive in, but before that happened, he was with his team anyways, and you know he can't even kill the Cho at that rate. But
even the Hayabusa, right?
Even the Hayabusa,
always with someone.
Yeah, even
pushing on the bottom.
Yeah, I can even see Gushan sometimes with the Hayabusa, which is kind of awkward, but they make sure that there's a quote-unquote buddy system for everyone, so that they will be safe at many stages of the game. And also, that kind of secures that if you do get jumped on by opponents, which happened, by the way, with Chico, there's always backup. And, you know, because the other teammates are near each other, they can easily get back to the fray, help their teammates that's in trouble. Yes, they might lose one or two heroes, but they make sure that they take more in return.
Yeah, their backup response time in that game was like 1 second. Especially when Chico initiated the fight, there was like someone right behind him at that point. And I think that play happening all over again in the map, that provided DD No Limit with such confidence that, hey, we're communicating so well. Why not take more around the map? And I think after that, in that fight that we saw, that just boosted their confidence to skyrocket levels. And right now, looking at these teams, DD No Limit is still under a lot of pressure to perform to avoid that tiebreaker with Obs Raven, that tiebreaker possibility with Obs Raven, trying to kick them off the tournament. If they want to do that, this is their chance. Of course, Aether Valkyrie as well is going to be... you can tell everyone, even though DD No Limit won, like right there, they're still very much serious, very pressure, very focused into getting the win.
Yeah.
So again, this is going to be a bit more... it's going to be a better path. It's going to be a safer path for them if they secure this win.
As far as the mental battle goes, I think for Aether Valkyrie, they shouldn't be pressured too much, to be honest. Because, to be fair, there's no quote-unquote pressure on them.
Yeah, they're secured.
They're secured already.
For playoffs with that many wins, right?
Yeah. They didn't look like the Aether Valkyrie we used to see. Aether Valkyrie is that dominant force onto, you know, that we saw in the previous matches that we already casted, right? Aether Valkyrie is a top tier team. I mean, looking at them in the previous match, it seems like they aren't comfortable of what they're doing, which I think that they kind of have to, you know, let go. I would say that pressure. I don't know how to explain it. It's like a mental battle. You have nothing to lose, so
yeah,
they're keep it light.
Yeah, they're keeping it light. I think
they should
as well.
Yeah.
I mean, especially if you're in the foothold already. I mean, you don't have to let pressures get to you. Like I think that's what happened earlier. Even though they were super far, they're not gonna lose today.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not gonna drop from playoffs, but you can still see the pressure. And I think that's still, on one hand, it's also a good thing.
Okay.
I mean, they always want to perform every game. Maybe they get pressured as well to just perform because again, this is a great prize, right? Yeah. A great cash prize as well. But in general, you're correct. They shouldn't be pressured as much. They should just keep their focus, reset from that loss, and stop the train that DD No Limit seems to be riding into victory.
So now that we are headed to game number 2, what are we looking to adjust? Are we looking to adjust if we are, Aether Valkyrie for sure? Are we gonna go back to the drawing board, or are we gonna match what the No Limit did?
I think it's more of maybe going back to the drawing board, playing with maybe comfort. Let's try to go for comfort heroes instead of going for a big harder initiation comp like what they tried to pick earlier with the Akai engage and the Saber engage where there was very little follow up as well. In the end, we saw that they were doing a lot of Akai hurricane dances into walls, but the targets weren't dying. So maybe pull off something a little bit easier. Maybe take out the Martis if you have to. Again, Martis not being
it's being
sad.
snubbed.
Martis is being snubbed all week long.
Exactly.
All month long apparently.
The past 2 weeks at least.
Yes.
So here's the thing. The Lolita really struggled the previous game.
It did.
Do you think it might be an off game? I think Aether Valkyrie does have 6 members. Do they actually have it?
I think the one that has 6.
Oh,
I think that's Ops Gaming.
That is Ops Gaming, and that I think most of the main teams, DD Professionals and
Aether Main. Yes.
So for Aether Valkyrie, their Lolita really struggled, and that is not something that you can, talk to him, get back to, huddle or something, kind of give him the pep talk, because he hit like only one.
Only one ultimate.
Only
one ultimate.
Yeah, it was good. It was good to take down one hero at I think that was the 4-minute mark or something. But afterwards, he missed like 4 or 5 ultimates. That is not good.
That's right. I mean, they can maybe substitute that with someone with more point and click skills, like the Jawhead. Again, that was banned earlier, but maybe have the Johnson in there if you're looking for tanks. Something like Hylos. Yeah, perfect Hylos.
Yeah, I think Hylos could have fit perfectly well in the previous match as well.
Yeah, apparently Jawhead is gonna be a ban worthy for Aether Valk as well. That was pretty smart, I guess, for No Limit to ban the Jawhead. That prevented a lot of counters to their plays as well. So
surely, I mean, you can really just disrupt the team fights with one good ejector play. Well, let's see. There's the Lancelot banned out by the Aether Valkyrie squad. Hellcurt as well by No Limit this time. So this could open up the Cho for Aether Valkyrie, which also means that the Gusion might be the priority. Well, it will be banned right now. So if I were needy No Limit, I'm gonna go for the Cho this time.
I would. I mean, going for the Cho is a great option, especially if you want to complement it with the Saber.
Yeah.
The ones that we saw earlier, even though Fanny is unlocked right now, ladies and gents, so maybe something to look at. I hope maybe the Martis might come into play because a lot of the power picks, a lot of the power assassin carries are out of the picture as well.
So there's the Cho.
Yeah, there's a Cho, exactly as you predicted. 100% predictor, Wolfman. So right there is the Cho lock-in. Let's look and see if there's going to be a counter for a Jawhead play. Or maybe, not sure. Again, I'm looking for Martis, but Aether Valk might have other ideas. Yeah. They could still look for the Akai as a first pick, because if you give the Akai to DD No Limit, that's going to be a bad play. Oh, okay, there you go.
Akai Fanny.
Okay, we're 1-1, man. We're 1-1 on the predicts.
All right. We got this. They
do leave the Jawhead open, though. That's a great pick for the Cho. If you want the charge into the Way of the Dragon for Cho, that's going to be great. Kagra instead going to be considered here by No Limit.
They can consider something like a Saber or Hayabusa early on, just to kind of control the Fanny, because the thing with those two specific heroes, they can be taken by our opponents as well. So they will go for the Grok this time, which is going to be their classic combination. This has been their 3 winning recipes, even for the previous match. So yeah, I don't mind them picking it as well.
Yeah, previous match, the Grok was excellent. Like you pointed out, like perfect Grok walls all the time, preventing a lot of the Akai engagements as well. And it's putting off the Akai's game on where to hurricane dance someone, right? So that's not a bad pick at all. Let's see if Aether Valkyrie is gonna have a better time with Akai, as they do steal up the Jawhead as well. This is exactly what I was looking for.
Exactly.
Have the tank with the super tank Akai as well, and that you're gonna have a better game. I'm not sure if the Fanny's gonna be. Again, this is gonna be a bit of a coin flip. Especially whenever you pick Fanny, it's always a coin flip. How well is the Fanny gonna perform? I think the only consistent Fanny I've been seeing so far in the tournament has been with Aether main. Overall, we still have to look for a lot of lockdown on the side of DD low limit. If you're gonna fight against a Fanny, they are gonna use the Saber for that, and the Cho is a perfect example of lockdown. But can they whittle down the Cho fast enough, the Fanny fast enough for that to matter?
Well, at least they do have the Kagura, the Harley as well. As far as whittling down heroes go, I think they have a ton of burst in them. So
yeah,
maybe that's the decision for DD No Limit. They will have the Saber ultimate to set up for so much damage for both the Kagura as well as the Harley, and then they might be able to take out either the Hayabusa or the Fanny as fast as possible.
Yeah, of course, Aether Valkyrie, they kind of realize that they're going to have a harder time with the Harley as well, so they lock in Cyclops to try to counter that. This is good. This is actually very good for Aether Valkyrie. They have the Cyclops to try to get the Kagura in place, try to get the Harley in place. This also works very well for Cho.
Yeah.
Of course, we know Cho to be super hard to grasp, hard to lock in place and have your teammates wail on him. So Cyclops is the best answer for that.
Yeah, Star Power Lockdown. Yeah, I agree with you. This is much, much better as compared to the previous game for Aether Valkyrie. I think this has an easier win condition versus their opponents, and I think that they have many ways to approach team fights. They can match the tempo. Yes, for sure. They can even split push. Yes, they can. And if there are, mini ganks that can happen, I think the Jawhead will provide for it, as well as the Akai, and the damage output from either the Fanny as well as the Hayabusa, it will be enough. And you gotta have to take note, there's no place safe versus the Fanny, because the Fanny can just roll, zip, and zip out on the whole map, essentially, very quickly.
Again, Aether Valkyrie looking like they have the better draft, right? But we did say that earlier, and they did prove us wrong. So let's see if this game is going to be a bit more different. Again, personally, I'm liking the draft that Aether Valkyrie has, but this is gonna be a lot dependent on how well the Fanny plays. Yeah. So, game 2 for DD No Limit versus Aether Valkyrie. DD No Limit, of course, heading up the fray with a 1-0. Let's see if this is going to be a 2-0 close, or will Aether Valkyrie keep up the hopes of Ops Raven. Let's see if that happens.
The thing with DD No Limit is that they do have this, I would say, comfort picks in them. Comfort play style, if you say so. Because they have their 3 or even 4, only 3 heroes that they used in the previous match. Particularly, you have the Kagura to go with the Grok, as well as this Cho, which, they played perfectly well in the previous match. So this will be a hit check for them. Let's see if they can perform as much as before. And I do trust that they can.
Yeah, I think they can, absolutely. Like, DD No Limit, though, they will have the power, they will have the confidence given to them. My last game, they could transition that very fast, but this is looking like Aether Valkyrie starting strong, fighting over the crab, allow the free man gank on top lane. Very, very easy kill there for Aether Valkyrie. Yeah. Good gold income as well. So that's a lot of pressure on the top lane. Let's see if they can utilize that properly.
I mean, Aether Valkyrie, they knew that people were there down bottom. I mean, the Cho as well as the Saber and even the Grok was down bottom, so that they had the green light to go and be aggressive up top with the Fanny as well as the Jawhead. Was able to take out the one, and Aether Valkyrie like you mentioned, off to a good start this game.
That's right. Of course, this is going to be DD No Limit trying to up the pace as well, using Deadly Magic. Very fast level 4s for both teams.
This Fanny will actually miss one of his cables, but doesn't matter. So much pressure coming out from Aether Valkyrie. They were able to take out that one once more. And they're making the beeline towards the turtle this time up top.
Yeah, that's right. Of course, the turtle is going to be huge for Aether Valkyrie. Compound. They can multiply their factor by a lot if they get that gold. Of course, they try to go for the gank on top instead, going for the Kagura, but of course Kagura didn't have great game sense, reading the gank very well, and now they're starting to collapse.
Oh no, they actually took out Squishy Hero Kenji. It does have the mobility and he gets out, but Aether Valkyrie, they're still taking down the turtle this time. Here comes the Grok as well. It's not way too tank at this point. And they're still doing it from the guy. Very nicely done. Lucky down Gio. They don't have the damage just yet. Gio gets out. And the turtle will be taken up by DD No Limit just like last game.
Exactly.
Able to snatch it. The first turtle. My goodness.
DD No Limit with the body snatching techniques are doing well to counter the plays that Aether Valkyrie are putting up. They are ahead in gold. They are ahead in kills. But the goal definitely favoring DD No Limit because of that turtle trade. So those small mistakes on top, on the crab, on the first blood, they're all evened out right now.
They made up for it right now, and they even have slight golden, very, very slight. Doesn't really amount to anything just at this moment. But you know, if this keeps up, Aether Valkyrie, they have to be really scared about DD No Limit's gank squads right now.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, Aether Valkyrie does scale good with that Fanny. But DD No Limit has a lot of toughness as well in their comp. So the Fanny is not gonna have. It's not gonna be easy for the Fanny overall in this game.
But now they found Van will have the wall up, but well, that's not gonna lock down Van at all. Trying to apply the pressure onto the Cyclops up top, but it seems like this Cyclops is far too safe. I mean, the thing with Cyclops is that he have the tools to get away from fights.
Yeah, that's right. Right now, Aether Valkyrie is trying to run away from nice 4 members.
They actually found the Cyclops. Well, they found the opening. I think that was the show once again. Yan making a lot of plays for his team. He was able to identify where exactly the Cyclops was at, and he was able to push back that particular hero into a place where he was no longer safe.
Yeah, perfect execution there for DD No Limit, making sure that they can catch up and knowing when to do a 4-man gank.
Yeah.
That was they did not waste their time at all. They did not waste their time at all. And this is gonna be Ogdimod on this Fanny, having a harder time getting any gold in his pockets at all.
There's a jump in from EJ, but not anyone. Actually, DD No Limit will try to take this team fight right now, and they will be able to take out the Akai. And there's just way too much damage from the Hardy. Down bottom, Chico initiates on the Genji with a triple sweep. Can he get the more? Gio is actually here to tank the damage from... And they take out the one, the toss up on the Janna. This might be the exchange, and the Kagura will be taken out by Aether Valkyrie, but they still lost 2. DD No Limit, happy to take the trade any time of the day.
Yeah, especially if that trade results in this turtle that we see right now. DD No Limit playing excellently, and this is looking scary for Aether Valkyrie. Again, they will not lose any placements on the scoreboard, but this is gonna be still money going to the pockets of DD No Limit. Of course, Obs Raven.
Yeah.
Shout out to everyone on Obs Raven watching right now. I hope you guys are watching and you know.
Well, we don't hope that DD No Limit loses.
Yeah,
it's gonna be up to you guys.
Yeah,
but you know, we understand if you.
It's gonna be a lot of pressure. Yeah, so you have to make sure you play well later as well. It's gonna be scary for them because DD No Limit is looking like they're on a roll.
Yeah, they are.
They're gonna start going for the trades.
This
Aether
might
Valkyrie,
be the trade though, as they jump in the Fanny. The Hardy will take it out just like that with all of the lockdown that they have, and of course the damage coming out from the Fanny. Fanny's low, will be actually forced out by the Kagura. They will just trade for Van this time. I think Van will try to run away, and he will be able to do so just like that.
And of course, Hurricane Dance by EJ locks off Gio and blocks any chance for a chase on that Jawhead, making sure they can get the safety right away.
4-4.
So again, this is good for Aether Val. I think they're trying the one. What happened on top earlier was they was Aether Val trying to be aggressive because they kind of realized that maybe we're pretty much behind on gold right now. So they maybe tried something and they did fail again. This kind of reminiscent of what happened earlier, where they were trying to make a lot of macro plays, but they were losing up. And on the bottom though, Yan fighting off Kenji again, forcing a lot of pressure on their way, making this is basically No Limit blocking all the attempts of Aether Valk for aggression.
And Aether Valkyrie playing slow once again, just like the previous match. I don't know if it's gonna result to a victory this time. The jumping from Fan, the toss up as well, and do have the damage from Changu, but Changu has got the flicker out. They will take out Kagura this time, but they will have to back down on Changu as he's being chased up by Gio. Here comes the Cho. The jump in. Does he have the damage? Well, he's being controlled right now. Nice control, but the jump in from Gio will be able to take out the Cyclops. They still want to go for more. Yan goes on to Van with the ultimate as well, and they take out the Giant just like that.
And Yan power plays paying off dividends. Ogdemo trying to go for the chase on the Yan, but he is gonna get something for his efforts.
Well, that is Fanny. I mean, with the punish from downtown, and even at least Aether Valkyrie gets the trade-off, because if not, that will be really bad for them.
Yeah, that would have been disastrous for Aether Valkyrie. Of course, this is Aether Valkyrie still keeping up the gold pretty much even. Just a small 1 to 2k gold lead for DD No Limit. I think this is pretty good for Aether Valkyrie. Even though they're losing up a lot of the fights, they're still getting gold in other areas of the map, which is very, very important, especially at this stage of the game. Towers are pretty much still intact for in the mid lane, so it's going to be a bit more harder map control for them. The map control right now.
Map control, Chico with the kill of the Hayabusa wants to go for Ogdemo this time, but they will just back away. Chico gets the triple sweep onto the Hayabusa, and Hayabusa is not tanky at all versus the burst from DD No Limit, as Aether Valkyrie wants to take down the turret down mid, but it will be, you know, stopped by Yan as well. Unfortunately, they will still take out the turret.
Yep, Winions here for Aether Valkyrie, but will EJ pay for it with his life? Apparently not.
Oh my goodness.
Safe under tower despite the Grok wall. This will prompt them for a Lord Invade though. Will they go for it? No, they will not. Aether Valkyrie fighting 2v4.
There's the star power lockdown. It will not kill anyone. Geo trying to chase. Not gonna get it. But they will try to initiate EJ. There's Chico with the damage to Sip as well. And there's the kill on the Akai. Jumping from Ogdemo. Can he get something out of this first team? Seems like there is not gonna be any, as the Cho was able to box him out. This guy, Yan, my man, making the plays for his team.
All over and over again, everywhere in the map. He's the one making the big plays and making sure that his teammates are always safe. You gotta give props to Yan, making a big case for MVP in this game.
I agree with you. That one, as they're trying to deal the damage onto the Grok, but the Grok ever so tanky. Here comes Daniel with the punish. They want to kill off Van. There's the good wall.
Wow.
It's not much needed, but it is going to be a good safety net for them to take out the Giant, as Yan as well. Rotates down mid, trying to take out the turret, but no creeps, minions to help his cause.
Yeah, all the lanes basically pushing for No Limit at this point. Top and bottom going to be the next target as they go for the jungle invades. But Ogdemo answers with a killing spree right from the backside.
Ogdemo says, I don't want to lose this game, Aether Valkyrie. Let's do it.
Star power lockdown, of course, going for the Saber. Not gonna result to anything, but this is Yan again with the box out. Woo! If LeBron had Yan in that game, man, that would have been a different story.
That
man.
Would have been a different story.
MVP material right there, playing left and right against Aether Valkyrie.
That's why I thought Aether Valkyrie had 6 members, right? Because I have killed LeBron.
Yeah, that's right. I think he's getting benched.
Yeah, he's playing at the.
He's playing somewhere else. Yeah.
It's probably why, as they will try to take out Cyclops, and I didn't even finish my sentence. That's how quickly they have the burst potential.
Yeah, that's 2 people fighting pretty much against 3 members on Aether Valkyrie's side. This is very confident play here for No Limit. Of course, on the top, and this is going to be a bit of a different story, as Ogdemo tries to make something happen for his team, but that's gonna result to anything.
Hayabusa with the ultimate on the Geo, even just tickling this Grok. Can they get the close out? They will just go for the turret. Very good play coming up from DD No Limit. Make that 2. Here comes the jumper from Ogdemo, but it's being threatened as well. The triple sweep, it will not be enough. Grok is here, but the Akai, as well as other members of Aether Valkyrie, are in here as well. They actually are backing up right now. There's a nice wall from the Grok just to thwart all of their aggression. DD No Limit. I mean, Aether Valkyrie thought that they could kill off DD No Limit, but they're actually running scared.
Yeah, they are. I mean, everywhere else in the map, they're getting all the gold. And even though they have a very tanky composition, with the Johin, with the Akai, they're still struggling.
They are still struggling. Another fight up top. They will take out the Fanny. That's really bad for Aether Valkyrie, as the Grok will be on a mega kill streak. Akai will be down as well. The wall from the Grok. They will not force this out. DD No Limit, with all of their discipline, they know that the tier 1 turret is still up. They will not force the issue. They will just go for the Lord takedown right now.
That's right. DD No Limit also pushed on bottom. That's why the waves are very scarily in their favor, as well as the mid lane. This will leave the Lord very much open for the taking. No countermeasures at all for Aether Valkyrie. Man, there's so much pressure here for No Limit. I love the way they're playing fast, and they're doing it in the right moment.
Yeah,
I mean, the game time is not as short as the ones we've seen in the previous weeks, but still, the control of DD No Limit is just tremendous.
I mean, like I said, I like their confidence right now. They look like a team that's really prepared for this specific matchup. More importantly, I think that they are moving well as a unit. You know,
Yeah.
I think their communication is much better. I'm not seeing them actually talk, to be honest, but it feels like, you know, their coordination
Yeah.
is still there.
It's like the sync is in their souls.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah, earlier, like even the pushes, it was happening on the bottom lane as well as the top lane. I mean, towers almost went down at all the same time. So very impressive here for DD No Limit. Of course, they're gonna start knocking on the doors of Aether Valkyrie. Will Aether Valkyrie catch anyone though? They do have the Star Power Lockdown and the Hurricane Dance.
Oh, Cho.
But Yan
With the champion, it takes one with him as well. Van, it will be the victim of the assault from DD No Limit. What a play from this Cho with the abduction play. And they still find more. EJ jumps in with the ultimate, but doesn't have the backup. Now the big playmaker for Aether Valkyrie is in trouble. EJ will be taken out. Grab will be unstoppable. Ogdemon jumps in. And he's not safe from the members of DD No Limit. He actually has to back away right now. And Aether Valkyrie, they lose 2. This is bad for them.
Yeah, this is what we were talking about. Ogdemon, even though that's a Fanny, he's having a harder time because again the composition of No Limit just super strong. Ogdemon starting to run for his life. This should be a good run, but again, that's still a Cho. Very fast.
That is Cho. That is a Fanny. They will punish Janna up top.
He's
a
still
nice
going.
punish, and they're still going. I mean, for the longest time, DD No Limit has been very disciplined. I think this is a very unlikely play coming out from them, as there's no way. I mean, for you to unless ETP tries to recall away, they're still chasing. This is the longest chase, the longest yard.
Oh my god.
A few more yards, guys. Oh, but in comes Daniel. I think they do have it. The star power, I mean, the damage from the Harley is more than enough. And finally, they reached the finish line, man. That was fun. That was
funny to watch, man. But that resulted in DD No Limit letting up the pressure. That resulted to Aether Valkyrie having breathing room instead of continuous pressure. I think that's actually a bit of a blunder.
That
DD No Limit, despite them getting a win. But what did they use for it, right?
I agree.
They used up 2 members chasing him for almost a minute solid.
Yeah.
And having Daniel just complete the lockdown. And that could have been a win, in my opinion.
I mean, Aether Valkyrie, their returns are very low right now, all of them. But DD No Limit wasn't able to close out on the third destructions. And that is really bad. I mean, if you did not over-focus on the Fanny, you might have taken a turret or 2, and you could have a better grasp of the game. But DD No Limit, we were, you know, complimenting and commending them for their patience, but it feels like they has got some of the, you know,
some
aggressive spirit somewhere out there.
They're gonna have to play a bit more safer, apparently, because again, Aether Valkyrie has a defensive position now.
Yeah.
They do have control of their base, but again, the minion control of their base, but again, the minion, they might have to wait for Lord to make a solid push. But again, this is still DD No Limit in pretty much a solid lead with 9k. Let's see what happens. Can Aether Valkyrie find an opening? I mean, that's the biggest question,
that's
right?
the biggest question, but I think Yanyan will answer it pretty much shortly. I mean, the thing with Fanny, he's doing a great job, to be honest. He's just pushing out the waves, you know, making sure that DD No Limit will try to come in on him. He's way too mobile. But it's gonna be up to Yanyan. I mean, he did the big play before with that, you know, abduction of the Joy. There's the triple sweep connection onto Ogdemon, being chased out by Chico this time. I think that might have been another blunder.
Again,
they're still chasing.
Here we go again. Just after we said that DD No Limit goes for the chase on to Ogdemon again, I think they're gonna be a bit wiser this time around, realizing, hey, we don't really need to chase, right? Let's go ahead and look for wave control instead and go for the push. I think they're going for that right now.
They are going for it. Yanyan identified that the Fanny might have made a mistake for a little bit, but they will not go for the punch. I think that this is the better play. Just wait for the Lord to be out, and it is already out. And try to take it by yourself. Now, in comes the rest of Aether Valkyrie, but Yanyan will try to just disrupt them. Another box out coming out from Yanyan, another big play from this specific player. Star Power Lockdown even committed on him. That is not good at all for Aether Valkyrie.
Yeah, Star Power Lockdown for the star player goes over the wall and tries to fight it.
In comes Yanyan once again. The ultimate from the Akai will be there to lock down Yanyan, but there's no damage whatsoever on this very tanky hero. All the while that is happening, Saber already pushed out down bottom, almost taking out the turret. Top lane as well. DD No Limit applies the pressure. Able to take out Chico for the first time, doesn't get away for the second. Yanyan will not be there in time to save him. This is also taking out so much damage with the Cho. There is the Lord called out top though.
That's right. I mean, the Lord play is gonna be a bit stronger now because it's level 2. But now they're a man down, and let's see. The Saber immortality, the Saber chase, I think, was just a bit too much. Maybe if he was gonna die, might as well just have died for the tower, right?
Yeah, I agree.
But apparently they're just gonna control the game and just wait for. This might be a wasted Lord if DD No Limit doesn't rotate faster onto this. And I think they will just let it go. They do have a lot of immortality in their pockets as well. This will be Daniel chasing off Ognimod and stopping the split push.
Ognimod making sure that Aether Valkyrie will live to see another day. It's just prolonging this fight for them. Long enough, maybe fight for them. Long enough, maybe that Aether Valkyrie will get enough items to kind of stop the aggression from DD No Limit. But it seems like No Limit, they're not backing down. I mean, Aether Valkyrie, you need backing down. I mean, Aether Valkyrie, you need more time if you want to win this game. Let's see if Ognimod can pull through.
That's exactly what's happening. Like Aether Valkyrie, they're trying to make time. They're trying to make the Fanny do a bit more split pushing so that maybe DD No Limit has something. But this might be a bit of a harder time for Aether Valkyrie because if Fanny keeps pushing bot lane, this might open DD No Limit to make a 5-man play. It's just that not happening right now, but it is a possibility and that could happen at this point.
That can really happen at this point as Gio tried to buy another time for DD No Limit. Ognimod just pushed down bottom really good. They will be able to take out the turret, but they have already locked down the Akai. EJ doesn't have any escape routes anymore, but they are actually able to take out one. That is the Saber down for the count. And no turrets down as well for DD No Limit. The minions as well are far too away. They will still try to take the turret and they will be able to do so. Fortunately for them, it was very low anyways. And Yanyan just again boxing them out. Might have cost his life though. He gets out with the flicker and is safe once more. Could there be a punish? Daniel tried to dish out the damage, and this is added mobile. I mean, the blue for the blue side.
Yes.
Their super minions are already mobilized.
This is basically DD No Limit playing fadeaway plays on the map, on the towers, taking hits slowly but surely, doing a lot of chip damage to those towers. They just rotate over and over. They do it on top, they do it on bottom, they do it on mid. And slowly but surely, though, they're getting all the damage that they need in. And I think that's very smart for DD No Limit, not doing full committals. Because again, if they do, that does leave them open and vulnerable for some plays. Again, this Fanny, you can't ignore it. He's free 2 and 4. He still has 11k gold in his pocket. That's still a lot of damage.
That's still a lot of damage. As you mentioned, they will try to go to Yanyan. 5 of them just on converging onto 1. They will not be able to do so. And Yanyan will live to see another day again and again. Very tanky, this Joe.
As time's progressing, I think the Cyclops' use is starting to diminish. And right now, look at this. They're getting chased up in their own jungle by DD No Limit.
DD No Limit. They will try to, put the pedal to the metal this time. They will not stop. Chico is very strong right now. You can see that crit 1.6k. Well, the thing with DD No Limit is, for Aether Valkyrie, I mean, is that they already committed the Akai ultimate, and here comes Gio, just, manning up, just stacking up every damage from the turret, but Yanyan might have been in trouble. There's the first instance of the immortality, and finally, they take out the Cho. For this, well, that's for the second time around, and DD No Limit will not get any turret kill afterwards, so that the jump in from DD No Limit. They have been very patient for the past few minutes.
Yanyan, I think he bit off a bit more than he could chew in that play.
So.
his team was way behind, and then he went for the wall gank over the wall gank, and that just didn't pay off. Even though you had immortality, there's still a lot of lockdown on the side of Aether Valkyrie, and because of that small mistake, that minor misstep from Yadyan, they might open up for a push on the top lane. They are securing it, they are boxing it out, but this is gonna be Gio trying to make something happen.
Yeah. Top lane though
has goes down.
Destroyed by Aether Valkyrie. And Ogdemod, I mean, if he wins this game for his team, this is definitely one of the best plays around, or those, I would say, smartest plays that we've seen all tournament long. I mean, they were down for the most part. They still are down at this moment. But because of the movements from the Fanny, from Ogdemod, was enough for them to come back if they do win this one. But they still have a lot of catching up to do.
That's right. And right now, this is going to be the Fanny on the bottom lane trying to split push him. I think DD No Limit is pretty much aware that this is happening, and they are now starting to put pressure. This also prompts Ogdemod. This is basically a chess fight, ladies and gents. They are now going to go for the Lord now that the Fanny is pretty much going back. Will they commit, or will they just go for the fight?
Let's do it. I think they will commit this time. Yanin jumps in forward with the Grog as well. Taking the damage onto Changu this time. They do have the control, but they don't have the damage just yet. Yanin will have to back down as he's received so much damage. Fan will try to finish him up, to mop him up. Chico already very low, but of course they take down the Cyclops. This time Chico goes back for the second time. Genji trying to chase him down, but the Fanny will be there for the backstab, already taking out the Saber. Can they get more? Gio very low. Daniel very low as well, being chased out. And the show still pretty healthy, but he has to back down right now. Fanny will try to go for any cleanup kill this time, but they did No Limit. They're hugging each other. They're making sure that they will go for the retreat as 5. But Gio is gonna be tickled by the ultimate from the Hayabusa. But Aether Valkyrie, they still just trade 1 for 1.
That's right. And as time is progressing, we're now at 24 minutes, by the way. As time is progressing, Cyclops' use is starting to diminish, but the power of Ogdemod just starting to mean less and less.
Yeah.
I mean, because of just how tanky everyone else is on Aether Valkyrie as well, they don't really need that much gold just to stay alive. They just need to stay alive and have Ogdemod and the Hayabusa clean up. Hayabusa, despite being 1-2-4, does have the most gold on 18k. He still has a lot of damage. They are fighting for it. They are using that right now.
They are. I mean, you talked about being tanky. That was a very tanky Jawhead. I mean, not even scared of his life. That's how great his farm is so far right now. And I agree with you. I think the 9k gold lead right now, it doesn't matter much because I think most of the members are already maxed out.
Yes.
So that is max versus max. I mean, even if you have the better gold, it doesn't matter. You have a cap for your progression. But up the top, there's a triple sweep onto the Jawhead. So you're trying to take down the machine, but way too tanky machine.
Yeah, that's a tall order, especially 1v1 though. Ogdemod going 2v1, still very confident. Pops out the deadly magic on himself, but he is gonna fake a back. He still pressures on bottom. This is gonna be a 1v1 Saber versus Ogdemod. Of course, nothing gonna happen. This is Ogdemod baiting out as much as he can as well for his team.
Yeah.
Let's see how often he can keep that up.
This has been, like you said, the chess match. We'll go for the checks, we'll go for the checkmate. We don't know just yet.
Over and over again, though, the checks are happening, right?
I agree.
Like, for both teams, checking each other left and right. And it's gonna be a big question. This is basically up to Ogdemod.
This could be the beginning, though, or the end for Ogdemod. His triple sweep was perfectly done. And there's the burst down. Can they take him over the side? Yes, they can. Cho will be there for the kill. Janna might be punished. That's the Kagura, a damage dealer for her team. But Gio makes sure that there's a wall to save Janna and to separate away Janna from his opponent.
Oh, their base!
Their base, though. It's gonna be in trouble. I mean, they're not letting them port out or recall back to the base as they're just trying to take it up. Let's do it. Can they actually do it? That's a big question. Yanyan, very low. There's jumping from Van as well. They're just jumping into each other. No damage whatsoever, but they still were able to take out the Saber with a little bit of mispositioning there coming out from the Saber.
And again, the chess moves continue as they take down Chico on that Saber. Again, minor misplay miss position here for No Limit. And this is going to be an opening for Aether Valkyrie to provide pressure. That's a 38-second death timer, which is going to be 4v5 on the map. This is the No Limit fighting on the side.
What a wall from the ground and Fan. He's going to die for the first time. Can he die for the second? He's absorbing so much damage, but Yanyan is there, as well as Daniel. And there's the Harley to take down and dish out the damage to finally take down that Jawhead. That was a hell of a wall.
And the answers are pretty much there. I mean, this is still the No Limit. They're using the power of Daniel and Yanyan to just zone out over and over and make picks of their own. Of course, this is going to be Aether Valkyrie trying to answer the Lord.
Yanyan fights 3 members. There's a 2-man knockup and they toss out 1. There's that guy with the ultimate. The damage onto the Kagura. There's just way too much. Can he die for the second time? I think he will be able to do so. There's the Cyclops with the beatdown. A nice grok wall separating free from the other member of the Aether Valkyrie. As the triple sweep is there as well. With the isolation techniques, they were able to take out Kenji for the first time. Take it out more. There's the ultimate from the Hayabusa. Another takedown, another immortality, but Cyclops dies for the second time. And Chico trying to take on EJ this time. Can they chase him?
Yeah, while all this is happening, of course, Ognimod also on the side. Chico triple sweeps just to no effect as Ognimod also pushes on the top lane. Again, stopping DD No Limit from making a full committal. Wow.
My goodness.
This match is going to the mile as, again, this is DD No Limit fighting for no contest on their place in the boards. Wow, Aether Valkyrie.
Making them work for it.
Yeah, Aether Valkyrie definitely also making DD No Limit work for it over and over again. As Ognimod is going to be the one, the saving grace. For Aether Valkyrie making the split push and again making No Limit super, making them double question their place.
Yeah. You know, because the thing is, you don't really want to commit, you don't know where to commit. It only took one blunder for DD No Limit to make this game really hard for themselves.
That's right. And this is going to be a bit more difficult. 3.8k people on Facebook. Thank you very much for watching us. Stay tuned again for the conclusion of this first game of today. For DD No Limit, let's see if they can make a stand. A last stand for Aether Valkyrie. Van does flicker out because he was in a very bad position. One grok wall could have killed him.
Definitely.
Again, No Limit looking like they are going for the engagements as Aether Valkyrie tries to make an answer. Will Hurricane Dance be the saving grace? No, Yanyan is on the backside with Kenji as well as Gio. Man, they're splitting up.
They're just splitting up. Like you mentioned, Changu though might be trouble. He will be taken out by the Kagura. No immortality for him and 58 seconds without him as well. Nice grok wall, but there's a jump away from EJ. But he's being chased by Yanyan this time. They do have the knock-up, but there is Van just, pushing them away. Then again, DD No Limit, I think they are still concerned about the Lord this time. They do have a better, hold of this Lord if they do so, because they do have the man advantage for 30 more seconds. Let's see if they will capitalize on this one. It seems like they won't.
Yeah, apparently DD No Limit is lowering the tempo for some reason and allowing some respawn on the side of Aether Valkyrie, but looking like they want to take a fight on Ognimod as they are starting to get irritated by the way Ognimod is playing around the map. He does go for the full lane dives. Wow.
This is why Fanny is one of the top tier bands out there.
Exactly. This is why you don't let the Fanny go.
Yeah.
Imagine if the Fanny didn't exist this game.
Yeah.
This would have been over for Aether Valkyrie earlier.
It would have been.
But right now they are pushing and they are making full use of it. And the question is, how fast, how long can Ognimod keep up the pressure for Aether Valkyrie? Looking like he's doing the solo carry as we saw in a few games in the NBA. Right now, in the top lane, they will also try to do a two-man split instead. But this will leave their bottom and their mid pretty much open. Pings are starting for DD No Limit. They are wondering, maybe there's someone trying to make a sneaky play, but obviously no. So again, this is DD No Limit keeping slow pressure. I don't know if this is pressure, but this is looking like just slow and safe pressure. This is them not making any committals.
Yeah.
For the last 10 minutes.
Just poke, just pokes, making sure that's maybe if you look at boxing, just jumps to measure opponents, but now they will go for the full committed show. trying to lock down the Joint. The Joint is gonna get out. Akai is not gonna be in a good spot though. Gio spots him out.
Everyone's just so tanky, man.
Everyone is just way too tanky. Like I mentioned, the initiation onto Fan. Yanyan tries to go for them. There's the ultimate, there's the rock wall, the jumping from away from EJ, but Fan was already taken out. What a nice wall, but even better was the ultimate from EJ. Unfortunately, there wasn't any follow-up from his teammates, so even when that stun hits on so many members of DD No Limit, they will not find any kills out of it. In comes Yanyan once again, going for the Akai this time. He has to be careful as the backlines from the Intervagri side is there. Ogniman tries to jump in.
Oh, at the bottom!
He's not really tanky. Down bottom, there's the Hayabusa going for the split pressure. Zogniman is very low right now, being forced out by Yanyan. There is the knock-up as well. But, oh, there is Kenji being caught by Chico. Oh, there's the first kill. Nice timing with the triple kill as they try to dash away from each other. There is the Fanny though, taking out the Kagura. But the shutdown onto the Harley, this is bad for DD No Limit.
Aether Valkyrie going for the chase.
They are going for the chase. Yanyan is going to be in trouble right now from the members of Aether Valkyrie. He's being chased out. Fortunately, he does have the help of Gio. Gio will keep him safe.
Kenji is gonna be the next factor here. Will he have enough DPS to will these two tanks as Chico goes in for the answer? And this is gonna be level 3 Lord for Aether Valkyrie. Looking really good. I mean, so far they did all the commits that they could, and they did the smart split push. And this is gonna be Yanyan trying to have an answer for the Lord. Will he make it in time? Apparently not. Boxed in by 2 members. Aether Valkyrie tries to go for it. No go!
He's not gonna go for it, but there is a formal knockup though, very good for himself, but there's the counter. The locked off, coming out from the Akai, takes down the Cho for the first time, and I think that he will fall for the second. There's so much damage coming out from Aether Valkyrie, he's way too tanky, but they're still trying to chase him down. Oh, he still survives, but there's the knockup coming out from the Giant. No damage though. Yanyan, what a beast!
Oh my dear Lord, Yanyan, what are you doing? You are like doing everything on your team.
Yes.
Like, what the heck? Every committal that Yanyan does is also just making sure that Aether Valkyrie does not get back in. Like every distraction, every smart push, every slow play that Yanyan is doing on this show is just spectacular. I mean, he was even going for the solo steal on the Lord. Like, whoa. Just
if he actually got it, I'm gonna lose my mind.
I would, man. Like, what the heck was that? Like,
this has been one of the longest games that we saw.
Yeah,
what's the record?
I think we're at 38 minutes.
48. Wait,
38. I think, or longer. That was like the
for qualifiers.
Yeah, I think that regular season.
Really?
I think there was a clown fiesta one time where
goodness,
everyone was 38. Yeah, so they are starting to eke nearer to the the record.
Try to make the case.
Even for mobile games, this is like one of the longest, man. Like, oh my god! Right now they're on the bottom lane jungle of DD No Limit, starting to get pressured here by Aether Valkyrie pushing in. They do have the Lord power as well. Yanyan goes in for the Hurricane Dance and Thousand Pounder. Yanyan is having a harder time making everything happen. And oh no!
That's the Harley taking out Changu. Might be the exchange. So Fan is here. They're just collapsing on the middle of it all. But the Lord as well with the smashes, he hits like a truck. But they were able to take out the Fanny. A little bit of mispositioning coming out from the Fanny will be punished duly by DD No Limit. But Gio, he's gonna be up against 4 members of Aether Valkyrie as the other teammates will have to try to, region up from the base. There's the Grok wall, but the turret already taken out. Yanyan jumps in, goes for the backlines, but Aether Valkyrie, they just want to take down the core. Is this gonna be a good comeback for them? It's gonna be pretty close. But they're punishing Van right now. This could be a kill. No! It will not be enough. Aether Valkyrie wins it.
What the heck?
My goodness. This has been the closest match I've ever seen.
Everyone standing left and right, both teams in disbelief as one of the longest and most amazing comebacks being pulled off by Aether Valkyrie. Wow, that game was...
Okay.
Oh, man.
I'm gonna go and stick to my word and give the MVP for the specific match to Ogniman. I think without his play, without his heroic split push, this will not happen for Aether Valkyrie. There was a time when 2 members collapsed on him, chased him down to the ends of the earth just to take a kill, but they didn't secure turrets because of that.
Yeah, this is basically the Fanny play Ognimon going around the map over and over and making sure that their team has room to breathe and allow this. Patience has been key in the play that either Valkyrie tried to pull off.
I agree. This is a very epic match for Buxen. If there's a compilation of clips that you have to watch for, like lesson number 1, how to come back from a big deficit, this should be top priority clip.
Absolutely. Like,
my goodness.
All game, they were behind by so much gold.
Yeah.
And just because of perseverance and split push, the presence of mind of Ognimon, to split push over and over, and in the right moments, either Valkyrie just pushed into a small but sure victory.
Gonna go for the standings because it's gonna be pretty close. I mean, DD No Limit, they did secure one victory, but that doesn't put them up top.
And everyone on green right now on your screens, everyone highlighted in green is sure fired in for lockdown for the main event.
So DD No Limit does have 6 points right now. If they did win the previous match, it would have been, it would have been a secured entry to the main event, correct?
That's right.
Here's the thing: Invictus Gods 6 points. They White Rascals and DD No Limit, they are at 6 points right now, and Invictus Gods will be facing. Upstraven will be facing Invictus Gods, correct? Yeah.
That's right. And of course, a big shout out to everyone on stream. Thank you so much for being with us. Natsu, Luffy, Mod, Anthony, Nuha, Amit, Bagus, Naresh, and Zaki. Thank you so much, guys, for commenting. And as well, of course, that was a long game.
That was a
long
long
one
game.
of the longest games I've ever seen for this regular season, especially in the days where it very much mattered, where it's basically playoff spot, and everyone is just playing out of their mind.
Exactly. Well, our next match is going to be White Rascals versus Digital Devils Pro Gaming. I think White Rascals still also needs to win a game for themselves, and otherwise they're going to go and tie with DD No Limit, which is again another tie.
I saw 3 teams there with 6 points.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a long day of tiebreakers.
It is.
And it's going to be the key moments. Again, these are the games that will determine who joins us in the Mall of Asia Music Hall, June 30 to July 1. This is going to be this day is just keep glued.
Yeah.
Keep this URL glued on your browser. But for the meantime, we will go short break. Yeah. I'm Rockhart. This has been the boy, the shoutcasting legend, Wolf.
My goodness, wow.
That was a great shoutcast.
Well, we'll see. We're going to head, like I mentioned, to a break. When we come back, it's going to be White Rascals versus DD Pro Gaming. We'll see you after the break.